Hola, hola, it's Nereida, and I have a tarot message. All right, I've already shuffled all the cards, but for some reason I'm shuffling them again. So take a deep breath, center yourself, and if you want any guidance, if you're looking for guidance or clarity or perspective shift on a topic in your life, hold it in your consciousness now, and let's get into it. All right. Today's the first day of Pisces. We're going into that. Oh, and look at that, High Priestess. I definitely feel like High Priestess is connected to Pisces for sure. It's that etheric, very psychic energy. For sure. We love that. Okay. It's also, the moon is also in Cancer, so there's a lot of water energy, lots of emotions, and yeah, overall just really interesting. We have the Magician as well. So these are two really cool energies to pop out together for sure. I really see this being a good combo for creation, for manifestation, in order to bring down, to pull down, you know, the ideas that come from the light that we, you know, when we pull down energy, there's definitely, you know, a need to be able to, how do I say it? Yeah, to like ground it down. And with the Magician and the High Priestess coming together, yeah, this, I really feel like this has something to do with creation, for sure. High Priestess and Magician. Let's get one more card here. We have the Six of Cups. All right. Okay, so overall energy here. Yeah, there's definitely this feeling of like something coming forth from the unknown. The High Priestess is always kind of like representing the occult, the unknown, that side of the feminine that is often seen as like the dark side of the feminine, and not in a negative connotation. This is mostly because, you know, the unknown is often feared, right? The Magician, of course, we know the Magician to be a manifester. And again, you know, in some traditions, the Magician, you can see he's always kind of pointing one finger up towards the ethers and one down, because he's pulling down creativity and bringing it into this, into the earthly realm. With the Six of Cups, this is kind of, this is a something I feel like usually looked at as a gift. You can actually see here that he's, you know, this, it looks like a boy and a girl to me. And this boy is handing over a cup, a goblet full of roses to this girl. And I do find it interesting that, you know, he's on a higher plane, like he's on a higher plane than she is, like he's in a higher window than she is. And then the raven here is really interesting because, you know, being a black bird, it's also connected to the unknown. And also ravens and crows are connected to communication. So I feel like there's some unknown, something unknown, maybe like information. It could be an unknown aspect of you or somebody you're dealing with that perhaps is being manifested into this like you know, being brought forth into this earthly plane and being offered in some way, shape, or form as like, as a gift. Maybe you'll be receiving information having to do with this high priestess and this magician. So let's go a little bit, let's get some clarity cards. Let's go a little bit deeper with our high priestess. Why is this high priestess here, Spirit? What is this unknown information? It's almost like, I feel like she's almost like, yes, Ace of Swords. So this is some kind of realization. This is like a breakthrough moment for you. And I feel like this information is going to come when you're like, you know, when you're sitting quietly, maybe you're reading a book even, and you have some kind, there's some kind of clarity that comes to you. But what I am hearing is that this is something that's going to be revealed to you, by your own psyche, your own subconscious. I would say too that paying attention to your dreams, because the high priestess, again, she symbolizes the subconscious. So maybe there's some kind of information that's going to be revealed to you in your dreams with the Ace of Swords. Yeah. I do, you know, I'm looking at all the different symbolism in this card of the Ace of Swords. I see, you know, I feel like these are wisdom teeth. There's also, which reminds me of that dream realm, you know, like we usually, people often talk about having dreams about losing their teeth. So it's really interesting here. I also see, you know, butterflies symbolizing transformative energies. And of course, the sword is, the swords are symbols of air energy. So this is like logic and thoughts, also movement, right? Now, I'm also being really drawn to the path, kind of like, let's see if yeah, like if you can see very low at the bottom, there's like this path, and it almost looks like it's leading up to the tower. And these lightning bolts, interestingly, you see them at the top of the tower card. And so I don't know, I'm almost feeling like this is like a preamble to like something, you know, this is information that's going to change something, but we'll go deeper for sure so that we can get more information on that. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me why the Magician is here? How is the Magician? Okay, there's two cards that wanted to come up for this. We have the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So the Knights are often seen as, you know, movement cards. They're usually depicted by a horse. They usually have a knight on them. Sometimes it's just a horse. And the Knight of Wands is a very, he's not the fastest moving knight, but he is quick to move. Like he could be impulsive more than anything, because this is connected to the fire energy. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the Nine of Cups did want to come in its reversal. So what I'm feeling, with the Magician, it's interesting because at the beginning too, the Magician did kind of pop up in its reversal. I didn't want to take reversals for this tarot deck. But I am being guided by my spirit guides to just mention, you know, with the Knight of Wands, this could be like, you know, a misuse of power sometimes, like self-fulfillment. Nine of Cups in its reversal. Nine of Cups is a card of, like, you know, emotional fulfillment. This is all 9 cups being filled. It's like, it's usually seen as a card of wish fulfillment as well. Like if you have some kind of wish, something that you've been hoping for. Now, of course, in its reversal, it's really giving me, it's really giving me energy of, how can I say this without being, hold on one second. Let me just kind of get some counsel with my guides about how they want me to say this. Yeah, it's kind of like energy, like based on passion only. And I think that that's been a message in the past, like in some of my past readings. It's been a few days since I've actually done any readings. I really, you know, I really believe that everything in moderation. And with tarot, you know, there are days when I'm constantly being told, all right, it's time for another reading. It's time for another reading. And today, you know, I felt the call. So I do feel, though, that this has something to do with like creative energy, which is also, if you connect it to the sacral chakra, it's also very creative energy. But I would be very mindful about moving too quickly in the direction of something that just, you know, calls you in because of like passion. If it's a relationship, you know, sometimes being pulled by passion leads you to very superficial situations, because, you know, passion fades, and it just, you move from passion to passion. There's never any depth that is actually cultivated. And of course, we know that if the Magician comes in its reversal, you know, this really means, you know, using magic or using manifestation for purposes of, you know, of just fulfilling the ego, not spiritual fulfillment, like the Nine of Cups would depict, you know, more spiritual, emotional fulfillment here. All right, let's get some cards to clarify our Six of Cups. Okay, that was quick. Thank you. All right, we have the Empress. Interesting. So I am getting creation vibes galore. Okay, we have 1, 2. When you add these together, what do you get? The Empress, 3. And in the tarot, the Magician and the High Priestess do come together for creation. This is like the father and mother. This is like the sacred masculine and sacred feminine energy that come together to bring something into creation, which is the Empress. So this could actually mean an actual child. And with the Six of Cups, it's almost like, yeah, it's like the gift of, like some kind of gift related to creation. I'm getting like maybe pregnancy vibes too. Like somebody might be expecting an, like you might, like there might be somebody around you that's actually getting, you know, that might actually be in a position of conceiving. I'm also like getting an actual, like, almost right now my guides are saying this is actually a kind of like not so much like a warning, like danger, but this is like hey, you know, be mindful that in a moment of passion, if you're not trying to bring a child into this world, that it would be very mindful to, you know, to protect yourself. Big time. Because I don't know, you know, just take a look at this Nine of Cups, and, you know, I don't want to point directly at it, but there is like major arrows pointing towards that sacral chakra of this, you know, of the monkey. It looks like a monkey to me. And see where my finger's at? Boop, boop. And it's almost like, hey, you know, be careful. Knight of Wands. That Knight of Wands in its reversal gives player vibes big time. But in its upright, it's still kind of like somebody that moves very quickly and moves from their, you know, from just like very passionate energy from between the loins. I really don't know how else to say that, but I really needed to say it. So it's interesting because with the Six of Cups, you know, I'm curious about, it's definitely, this is like, you know, usually it's like, it's looked at as like a card of like nostalgia, maybe childhood friendships, you know. Huh. Excuse me. And again, you know, I'm really, it's for some reason, I'm just so drawn to the Raven, because in such a like light picture of a child, of two children kind of like engaging in this really sweet like exchange, there's the Raven sitting at the top, kind of like just looking over. And I don't know what the word would be for like the sound of a raven, but it's so like, you know, it does remind me of darkness, of like a warning here. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper with this High Priestess and this Ace of Swords. Spirit, what is this information that is coming through? All right, so I'm going to take all of these cards that flew out right here, and it's interesting because this is wild. This is wild. Look at this. Can't make it up. I just can't. Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, and the High Priestess again. And you know that when we get repeated cards, it's like, pay attention, you know? And this is really telling me that there is some kind of new cycle, some kind of new connection happening here with the Lovers card and the High Priestess. This is a very spiritual connection. The Lovers definitely speaks of sexual energy. This is oftentimes also in like very traditional tarot, it was like seen as a choice between lovers. Like there was, Cupid was often seen at the top of the Lover's card, and there was a man usually that was like being struck by Cupid, and there was two women standing in front of him. One that was like kind of like pictured as a darker complexion, and one lighter, signifying the dark and the light. And so it was almost like there was a choice that had to be made between the inner path and the outer path, or actually choosing between a lover that brought deep desire but was not accepted socially, or a lover that was like accepted socially but was kind of like dull, you know? And so it's really interesting here. There's almost like what I'm hearing is like that, you know, for somebody there might be this kind of like realization of having this deep desire to, you know, move towards something that it is more like of a spiritual energy, right? With the High Priestess, this is more of like the unknown, of like actually, you know, stepping into the unknown with the Wheel of Fortune, like the completion of some other cycle and like the beginning of something new. And today I'm just noticing at the chaotic threads, and I'm hearing, oh, the tangled webs we weave. Very interesting energy here. But this is, I'm really feeling two different, like very, like I'm feeling two different energies coming together to create something new. And like having some kind of realization about that, having some kind of idea to create that. And, you know, I want to point out that, you know, again, in the tarot, like you can see different energies of different people. However, I'm also really feeling that this is like an inner journey as well. Like the High Priestess, again, like you see her and she's, you know, she's in this like very kind of mysterious energy, right? Like, you know, even her veil, she's kind of covering part of her face a little bit, you know, and like deep in her studies. But maybe there is some kind of realization about a partnership, a lovership, that some clarity around that, about a new cycle, something new beginning for sure. It's interesting that we see the two crescent moons that are opposite to each other. There's a lot of crescent moons here. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper with the Magician here. What is this Magician spirit? And why did he want to come in its reverse? And what is this like? It's almost, yeah, let's see. Okay, I have a card that flew out over here. We have the Two of Swords. There's definitely a feeling of choice here. There's something definitely hidden though, like some kind, there's an element of mystery in this reading that's really interesting to me. Maybe you're somebody that is very mysterious, that people see as very mysterious, like you know, you don't always show all your cards. Let me get another, I don't know if it's a good idea to get another card, or let me just sit with this for a moment. You know what I want to do actually is that I want to Where can I look really quick? This one I don't think has the meanings for the reversals. And I wanted to look at maybe a reference point for the Nine of Cups in reverse. Let me go into this book really quick and see if we can gather. Let me get some information on this Nine of Cups in its reversal. So there's something here about some of the key words for the Nine of Reversal in this book talk about truth, loyalty, and liberty. And so because also the Magician came in its reversal, there is, what I'm seeing here is a point, like a crossroads for you, where you're going to have to choose to either, you know, walk a path that is, yeah, like to choose a path that's in integrity with yourself of like truth and loyalty, or a path that follows your more ego kind of impulsive nature, that fiery nature with the Magician in its reversal that came in and originally. But I do, you know, there's a cross point here in this Two of Swords, like, and I do feel also like you're going to have to make this choice with not a lot of information, like some information that's like hidden from you. Maybe we can, hopefully, I'm going to pick another card from this same deck because I want to see what, if anything, is hidden. So Spirit, what is being hidden from here? What is it that's being hidden? The Ten of Wands, some kind of heavy burden, some kind of heavy responsibility. Yeah, I mean, you know, what's I don't know, maybe this might resonate with some of you, but I'm picking up like somebody that has a whole, you know, a whole lot of responsibilities. Like maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm like hearing a whole family, a whole other family. Oh my God. That is some tea if I've ever seen it. But it could also be, you know, Ten of Wands could really be any type of responsibility, family responsibility, work. But nonetheless, this is, you know, maybe this is what is not being shown to you, is what's not really being, what's not really out in the open, right? And because I'm a nosy little girl, I want to know, what are these burdens? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to pick a card, but let me just show you what I see at the bottom of the deck. That's partnership. That's two people. All right, Spirit, what is being hidden here? What burden, what big responsibility is being hidden here? Son of Wands. This, my friends, is the same. Is it the same Son of Wands, Knight of Wands? No, this is, that would be the Page of Wands. Yeah, I'm really getting, you know, lots of like kind of fiery energies here, passionate energies. I'm not sure, you know, if this was like a friend of mine. And I do feel like when I'm reading, you know, like I'm always gonna do my best to tell you exactly what I'm feeling. And sometimes I'm apprehensive because I feel like I don't want to project my fears onto my readings. But if I saw the Knight of Wands with the Son of Wands and like the Knight, you know, all, like if I just saw all this together, I would say be very, very, very mindful about choosing just from a place of like, you know, the butterflies in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like butterflies in your stomach are often telling you to run the other way. So let's get some clarity cards here. Empress and the Six of Cups, Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is, again, you know, the Ace of Wands is usually seen as the card of, again, passion, you know, like strong, passionate new beginnings. Okay, and the Hierophant came in its reversal. We have the Hanged Man with the Hierophant. So, and the Mother of Swords. So here, what I'm getting is make sure that if there's any offers coming in that feel like something from your past, like if they remind you like, oh, this feels like I know you, it feels like I've known you for such a long time, that kind of vibe, make sure that you're really, that you're looking at things from all sides, okay? Not just from the wand point, if you catch my drift, like not just from like that sexual desire place. Because with the Hierophant in its reversal, this is like, you know, this is energy that is very like stuck in tradition, not very, the Hierophant has a key, but it doesn't quite fit into the entry point of the High Priestess's unknown world, right? We do see the Raven here twice, right? The Raven here and the Raven here. And again, we see that thunderbolt lightning coming through here. But for me, because it's in its reversal, the key is being much more pointed to, right? The key is what's being more highlighted. And again, that Raven is like in a position that's like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to look up the Raven symbol in my symbols book. Let's see what information we get here. Maybe it might be under the crow. Oh no, I found it, Raven. In India, the Mahabharata compares ravens with messengers of death, and perhaps in Laos as well, where water soiled by ravens cannot be used in ritual aspersion. Maybe there is an ending of something. A messenger. I mean, what I do know about ravens is that they are very smart birds. And they're able to remember faces and people for very long time. So like if there's somebody that, you know, they consider to be dangerous, they will you know, caw to each other. They will talk to each other and warn each other. Okay. So, you know, I don't want to sound, you know, like a, what do you call that? Yeah, I don't want to be like extreme, like, oh my God, danger, danger, danger. But there is, I'm feeling like a major warning here about a situation that might feel like it has this really, you know, nostalgic kind of energy, this very, like it might feel friendly and nice and wonderful, but there's something hidden. And I don't know, I get this uneasy feeling in my gut when I think about it. Because there's all these, like, you know, there's all this interesting energy here with the Empress. Like, this is really like fertile energy as well. But Mother of Swords, this is boundaries, you know, this is like Queen of Swords. She's very much considered to be somebody that uses her logic instead of the Empress, where it's like much more of the passionate feminine energy, like very open and like, you know, just kind of being led by her desire and her, you know, she's very open and yeah, like being led by her passions. And the Mother of Sword is here to say, hey, yeah, this does open up a lot of passion. But Hanged Man, you know, there is a need to look at this from a perspective that maybe you're not seeing. You know, the bat is able to maneuver in the dark, not really quite able to see, but use all of his other senses to kind of sense danger, you know? So, okay, I want to get so clear for you a message of like straight up clarity. So, I'm going to grab, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to grab one more tarot deck to clarify for you. And we're going to pick, we're going to take out 3 more cards, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them out 1, 2, 3. The one to the left is going to be what you should not do. The energy in the middle will be, you know, that neutral point where you're at right now. And then I want to see the action point. Okay, so kind of like a reading and a reading, because you know, if you are right here in front of me, I would want to give you the absolute best advice. Okay, so here we go. This is what we need to leave behind, Spirit. 2 of Wands, spread your wings. Okay, 2 cards just came out. This is your point right now, control. And then this is the 3rd card of moving forward. So we know that the 2 of Wands, spread your wings. I'm just going to read because it's definitely about, you know, being at a crossroads, kind of like moving forward. But this is saying that's what not to do. Expansion, freedom, confinement, decisions. Energies of expansion are all around you now, and because of this, you may be feeling restless and uncertain. Your mind and soul are ready to soar, but you may feel confined by certain relationships or certain aspects of them. Although they may be comfortable and feel safe, it's possible they don't quite fulfill your needs. Even the desire to be in a relationship can be restricting because it becomes your focus and you forget to live your life to the fullest. Wow. Sometimes when you think you have all that you could ever want, you realize that you now want something else. Perhaps a relationship has grown a little too restricting, or it's not exciting enough. Or maybe it no longer meets your needs as you've evolved and changed. What will it take to allow you to feel unrestrained and joyful? Listen to your heart. What do you really want? Remember to make any needed changes with love and compassion. Super interesting, because remember we said that the High Priestess, there was some kind of choice and an ending, perhaps with the Wheel of Fortune, and we saw the ending with the ravens here. So maybe there is something that, you know, you're a very passionate person, and we talked about that, like not to jump from passion to passion. And it's almost giving like, you know, you've done this before. You've left a situation because it's it lacks less. It's like lackluster. Oh, this isn't exciting to me anymore. So screw it. I'm just gonna, you know, like walk away, and I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna spread my wings and I'm gonna fly away from this situation because now there's something else catching my eye. Knight of Wands. Let me go Knight of Wands, then a Cups in reverse, you know, like let me just follow, you know, what was that thing in, oh my God, the swing. Let me just follow my swing. Ah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. And Spirit is saying, focus, focus, focus. Okay. With where you're at right now, the Control card, this Strength card, this is definitely giving like, yeah, you need to control your, you know, your passion. You need to control your animal nature of wanting to just like, you know, like move forward. This is saying like connecting to that higher, the higher self. Connect to your heart. Be courageous. Courage is doing something that we don't want to do. You know, doing something that's not easy. Courage is, you know, like knowing also when to be courageous. And for moving forward, this is really interesting because this is the Death card. Wait. I'm pretty sure that's the Death card. And that, the ravens, oh, I'm sorry, this is not the Death card. What am I talking about? This is the Moon. So this is about, you know, confronting your shadow. Confronting the shadow, for sure. Introspection and clarity are important at this time. Feelings that have lain dormant are now coming to the surface. They have been part of your subconscious for some time. They're referred to as your shadow self and represent all your fears and delusions regarding matters of the heart. You may have concerns about examining these issues, but know that when an issue rises to the surface, it's ready to be faced and healed. Have the courage to acknowledge and confront these newly emerging feelings. Look at them from all sides and try to determine where they first came from. When and how were they planted in your subconscious? Remember, we talked about the subconscious realization from the High Priestess. Question the validity of these feelings. Often they were based on your childhood imagination, and are no more than illusions. They're not appropriate for your adult relationships, yet they persist. They're not based on reality, but they're powerful influences and can affect your relationships in major ways. They can even prevent a romantic relationship from manifesting. Have the courage to explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love. You may find that these emerging feelings are based not only on your limited perceptions, but also on what you actually saw or experienced as a child. Know that whatever your reality was then, it does not have to be your reality now. You are no longer that person. Examine these feelings and gain clarity on who you are and what is true for you regarding your relationships. Now remember, we talked about the Six of Cups being this cup about nostalgia and nostalgia. And I'm really feeling like this is like pointing to like childhood patterns, you know, like maybe you're playing out some kind of mother wound with the Mother of Swords and the Empress here. This is giving me major like attachment stuff with the mother. The Hierophant in reverse. This is doing things, being stuck doing things in a traditional way that might not be working for you, you know? And with that moon in Cancer, Cancer is like, it is the mother. She is the mother. Cancer is the mother that, you know, her Cancer rules over the breast, the nurturing energy. So we're in Cancer. The moon is in Cancer right now. And so this is giving me very much like, you know, it's time to heal the mother wound. It's time to heal that because you're bringing, you know, that energy into your relationships, and that's obviously not working for you. And I am being reminded that the Lovers, the 6 card is actually also very much related to the adolescent phase of life. We go from, you know, the spiritual mother, the magician, the spiritual father, the magician, to the spiritual mother, the high priestess, to the empress, the actual creation, the mother. Then number 4, the father, right? And then the Hierophant, number 5, where this is like, you know, spiritual direction, spiritual guidance, structures, Emperor, Hierophant, to number 6, the Lovers. And it's interesting that we have all of the cards here except the Emperor. So there is some kind of like, I'm almost even feeling like the lack of the Emperor in this reading right now is also the lack of discipline. Woo! Okay, Spirit. I hear you. You came in strong today. Very interesting. All right, let's see. I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like that was it. Like, that was literally it. Like, that was the message right there, you know? Like, do your shadow work, do your inner work, and stop jumping from relationship to relationship. Or maybe you're dealing with somebody that's bringing you in some kind of offer that does that jumps from relationship to relationship. Maybe you are the high priestess and, you know, you're the one that's being shown this is your realization. This is your, you know, this reading alone could be what gives you that, like, that revelation moment with the ace, you know, the Ace of Swords. Okay, Spirit, can you give us 3 cards to wrap this up, please? Let's open this one and see what that one says. Transformation. We know we're all going through a deep transformation with Pluto and Aquarius. This is release. And we got 2 more cards here. Self-love and prayer. I was just talking to a friend today because we have this ongoing conversation about keys and what they mean to us. And one thing that we know for sure that we keep getting from the universe is the sign that self-love is the key. How will you know someone loves you if you don't love yourself, and vice versa? And so this is about, you know, you remembering your value and your worth, and, you know, releasing any subconscious limiting beliefs. This is your period of transformation. And, you know, if you don't know, you know, if you don't know, ask for guidance, pray about it. Okay, beautiful soul. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in a next tarot reading. Take care.